Okay. Okay.
And you mentioned that you wanted to work on, you said, I have all these ideas of what I want to do, but I feel so scared. I don't know how to go from where I am to where I want to be.
Yeah.
Tell me about
Yeah.
that.
Mm. Okay. So I think my major problem is a lack of confidence. Like, okay, so I just started as a virtual assistant, right? And then I wanted to start something like a virtual assistant agency. But okay, the main thing is that I feel like I don't have what it takes. Like I lack confidence. I feel like, okay, maybe because of my location, so many things. Then there's something else. My accent, I feel like, oh, how do I reach all these people when I sound this way? And then when I'm located here. So all those things just make me, so I have all these ideas. Then I just feel like I'm not enough. I don't have what it takes. Yeah, something, I'm disadvantaged, kind of. I think that's the point.
You feel disadvantaged because of
Yeah.
your accent, you said
Yeah.
location, and also how do you reach all these people?
Yeah.
Okay. And is starting the virtual assistant agency, that's what you love to do?
Yeah. Yes.
Well, let's take the idea that you feel disadvantaged. Why do you think you're disadvantaged? You mentioned the three things, but let's assume for a moment that those things have nothing in the new universe that you're creating. Let's put those things to the side. Why what other things do you feel make you disadvantaged?
Okay, apart from the three things I've mentioned, apart from the other things I mentioned, okay, like I said, I feel, I think, God, I don't know. I think maybe the point is, okay, maybe I feel like I'm not skilled enough, and then okay, and then the location thing is also there. It's like it's really strong. I feel like, okay, people from Africa don't do this, or okay, not that they don't do that. Let me not put it that way, but like nobody will listen to me, nobody will want to hire me, kind of thing.
What does being from Africa have to do with anything?
I don't know, maybe it's just my thinking. Maybe because, okay, maybe because I've been in situations where maybe I've pitched for a job or something, and then I feel like maybe I was rejected because of my location, because maybe because of the time difference or something. I I don't know. I think so. Or I feel so.
Okay. And in this space, there's no judgment. Your feelings are what they are. Is that a you said you feel like, can you think of an experience where this happened? Where you were rejected because of your location or time zone?
Okay, yes, yes. I can think of one. Yeah. Mm, yes. So there was this lady. I was supposed to. She wanted to hire a virtual assistant. So on the discovery call, so she was like, "Okay, so where are you located?" Okay, she first of all, she even refused. She didn't put on her video. I don't know why. So maybe I was feeling like, okay, maybe because she didn't trust me, which was understandable. Then she talked about the fact that I was from Nigeria, and then what did she say? I think she was just scared that because it was she was running an accounting firm, so she was like she wasn't so sure that her clients' informations were going to be safe with me or something like that. I don't know, but I kind of got a wrong vibe, like maybe because I was from Nigeria, that was why she didn't trust me. I don't know.
So to be clear, you can't say for certain whether she trusted you or not trusted you because that's an inside job. But that's what you
Yeah.
felt.
Mm. Yeah. Mm.
Okay, so you had this one bad experience, which actually could be a good thing. Maybe you weren't aligned. Maybe you weren't a good fit. And perhaps you were saved from a bad situation. But you had one experience. That means everybody would judge you the same based on your location and your time zone and you're from Nigeria. Everybody would feel that way. Does that feel?
Oh. Mm. Okay.
I mean,
Mm.
is that how you feel? That everybody would feel the same way?
Okay. Like now, I know that it's not everybody because I have one client who doesn't feel that way, who didn't see anything wrong with the fact that I mean, she didn't even care where I came from. It didn't even matter to her. So I know that everybody doesn't feel that way, but I feel like most people feel that way. That's the way I feel.
Okay, so let's just notice the feeling. Okay, you had one bad experience and you had one good experience. Which one, though, dominates in your mind?
I think it's the bad experience mostly because I've had several other rejections like that that makes me think I still think is the location thing. But maybe I may be wrong. I think so.
Tell me why the accent would be a problem. Because you said location, accent, and how do I reach all these people? Why would the accent be a problem?
It's not supposed to be a problem, but I don't know. Okay. You know, when you're trying to reach, like, you're trying to reach people who are different from you, they are from a different culture, like, you're trying to reach people who are, uh, and they all have that same accent, and yours is different. You feel somehow.
But, Kechi, what if your accent and your location, what if that's an asset?
I really don't see it as an accent. I don't know. I don't. How
How
can it be an asset?
how could it be an asset? Well, that's a really interesting question. Funny, you can see it as a disadvantage, but you can't see it as an asset. What if your time zone is perfect for people who are ahead of you, time zone wise, or people who are behind you, time zone wise? Because they could send work to you, you do it, and by the time they get up again, it's done. What if your accent is perfect because you are working with people who understand what it is to be an immigrant, let's say, in the United States, and they want to give back to people of color? What if your circumstances are perfect for the right collaboration for someone who is looking to hire a woman who understands what it is to have children and run a business and have an accent and feel and be African? For example, my brother-in-law is from Cameroon, and he's a real estate agent. Now, in my circle of friends, let's say there are 5 families, there's a real estate agent in 4 of them. So real estate agents, I mean to say, are pretty plentiful where I live. But so if my brother-in-law tries to fit into being a real estate agent and do what everybody else does, he's going to feel disadvantaged. But the distinction is he brings special skill sets because he understands how to talk with people who are immigrants, who have built from the ground up, start with nothing. Oh, by the way, he speaks French. So for the right customers, his skill set is not going to, he doesn't need to fit in. He's going to add because he brings a unique perspective. And in fact, that's proving to be the case. A lot of his clients are proving to be first generation immigrants who understand and want to work with someone who understands what it is to literally start from nothing in this country. What are you taking away from what I just said?
Okay, so I'm just saying that, just like you said, it can be an asset. Although my mind is I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. But I know it's true. I know. I think the thing is that, like this client I have now. I mean, she didn't even care that. Like, she didn't care that. She was not concerned about all the things I was afraid of. The fact that I was in a different location, a time zone difference. She just wanted me. She saw the skill set I had, and she wanted it. She saw the experience I had, and she wanted it. She just wanted me to get the job done for her, and she didn't care. She didn't even mention it. In fact, I was even wondering, does she really know I'm from Nigeria? And so I think it can be an asset. Oh, I think it is. It's just maybe I've just not met the right people, the people who are for me. I think so. It's hard though. It's hard to believe this, but from the story you just shared, I'm trying to see it now.
So let's notice it. Um, your mind, what's happening is that your mind has one version of the truth. Because I'm from Nigeria, because I have an accent, it's going to make it harder. Even though you have access to evidence, this one client who did not care where you were from, she wanted you. So it's like saying, oh, listen, roses don't exist, except I have this one rose. This one client is a rose. Proof that roses exist, but you're still saying roses don't exist though. Well, then how do you have this one? And if there's this one, then there must be others. This can't be the last client, the only client on the planet that wants you, regardless of where you are from or your accent or whatever else. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You have evidence. So then, the invitation for you is to shift your mindset from scarcity, there must be some reason, or there's going to be some reason I can't get the clients I want, to abundance. Well, if this one exists, then there must be others. Let me find others like her. And shifting your focus to look for the presence of existence versus looking for confirmation, the presence of scarcity. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay, now I know what you're saying is the truth, right? Well, okay, I there's this thing. I feel like maybe it's going to be so much harder for me. Like I know they exist, but I feel like maybe there are so few, and it's going to be so much harder. It's going to be a lot of hard work to find people like that for me. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
That's something else I'm struggling with.
Everything is happening in the mind, Kechi. All of this is is negative self-talk, is doubt. And you have evidence that it's not reality. The work for you is to recognize that you cannot trust your thoughts. You can be trusted with your thoughts because clearly your thoughts go to the scarcity, even in the presence of evidence that that's not the whole picture. It's here. And the problem is that there is a thing called confirmation bias. Have you heard of confirmation bias before?
I think so. It's like when you believe something to be true, that seems to be the the circumstances that you see, something like that.
Yes.
That seems to be the experience that you have.
Yes. When I bought a car, a certain kind of car, my friends, nobody thought about this car until I bought one. They were just like, oh my gosh, she bought this car. And then all of a sudden, my friends would say to me, I see this car everywhere. Okay, the car was always there. They were, now their radar was tuned in to the kind of car that I bought, and now they were seeing it everywhere. The car didn't suddenly start appearing on the market more because I bought one. It was always there, right? But now they're noticing it. So that's what's dangerous about having a confirmation bias, that it will be hard for you. If you believe it's going to be hard, you're going to find evidence that it's hard. If you believe that you are going to find people who love you, who love what you bring, all that you bring to the table, including your time zone and your accent, if you believe that they are there, then you will find evidence that they are there. And you already have evidence. Let's talk for a minute about who's right for you. Who do you want to work with?
Okay, so I've not really thought about it in detail. If I just have a general idea, like I know that I want to work mainly with coaches, consultants, and then probably online course creators. But I've not really thought about it in detail.
Hmm. Okay. So that's something that I would recommend you do. Think about it in detail. And What I would suggest, if you are looking for those clients like that, and that's where you want to start, and it may change, but if that's where you choose to start, then I would recommend that you go research some of those people. Find these people online and ask them. You can either ask them, hey, do you know anyone? But what I find more powerful is go and see if you can make a connection with them. Hey, what are you up to in the world as a coach? Like, what's your biggest challenge right now? Um, Ask them, can you interview them about what their needs are? So you can get to know what kind of challenges they have, and then when the time is right, you can say, you know what, I do that, and I've got a space for a client right now. Would you like help with that? You might say no. Sure. They might say yes though.
Okay, so well, how do you handle the no's when there are so much? Sometimes it can be very discouraging. It makes you really feel like, okay, maybe it confirms what you already have in your mind that, okay, this is not going to work. It's going to be really hard. Because sometimes you get a lot of no's
Yes.
and it's so discouraging.
Yes. But here's the thing, if you went knocking on doors, real estate agents do this and other people. You went knocking on doors in a neighborhood and you asked them, told them what you do. Hey, do you need services? Here's what I offer. You could walk on a street all day and you could get a no at every door. But at the end of the street, you might get one yes. Oh, so funny. I've been looking for that. No lives on the same street as yes. As an entrepreneur, why do you laugh?
Okay. What you just said, that no lives on the same street as yes. That's true.
And you can't know which door is going to be no and which one's going to be yes,
Hmm.
right? So you knock on all the doors
Hmm.
and see what happens. As an entrepreneur, you have to get comfortable with no. No has been around you your whole life. You've heard no your whole life. There's not any difference with you hearing no now except that you're feeling some kind of way about it. You tell your kids no all the time.
Exactly.
It's just a word, right? Until you attach some negative meaning to it and what it says about you or your business or what's possible. That's when you get tripped up in no. But otherwise, no is just a word. And it lives on the same street as yes. So, what I encourage entrepreneurs to do, and what my first coach encouraged me to do, was count how many no's you get before you feel discouraged. Can you get 7 no's before you feel like laying on the floor and crying? How many no's can you get before you're just like, I don't know what I'm doing with my life. I'm going to go get a job. I'm going to go have another child. I'm just going to go get my PhD now because I just can't deal with no's. How many no's before you fall into despair? And just as a way of noticing it and noticing your feelings, honor them and then get up and get back at it if this is what you really want. No is just a word. You do have to develop a thicker skin for no. Yeah. How long have you been in business so far?
Okay, so I started officially. I started January this year.
Mm-hmm. And how
But
many new
so far,
clients?
yes, so far I've worked with two clients. I've worked with two clients up until last month. The other client just stopped her contract last month. She decided to end her services last month. So I have only one now.
Okay. And how did you find me? I don't recall how we found each other.
Okay, it was on the Ladies Get Paid Slack channel. So I saw the post you made and I was like, okay, so I really need this. And I decided to.
Good. I love Ladies Gets Paid. Ladies Get Paid. That's a great resource. Have you tried posting out there and telling people that you have a space for a new client?
No, I haven't.
May I ask why?
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'm just. I think it's still the fear thing. Whatever, I don't know.
Okay. So these are all the practices of being an entrepreneur. Putting yourself out there, getting comfortable with no, um, muting the negative scarcity, doubt, conversation in your head, stay in the game. And do you have a coach?
No,
Okay.
I don't.
Do you have an entrepreneur group or a mastermind that you're in?
Yes, I do. I have one.
Okay. What I recommend for you, honestly, Kechi, is I think you're a great fit for my group coaching program because this is all the stuff that we work on together. Um, and I'm hearing an opportunity to serve you in mindset, staying up here, staying in the positive here, plus the group that you come into, getting that connection with other women, um, and putting yourself out there to knock on doors, so to speak, virtually, to get yes on the same street of no. Um, First thoughts, questions.
Okay. No, I don't think I have any question right now.
Okay. What stands out to you right now so far that we've talked about?
Okay, the fact that I need to to see no as just a word. I think I'm so scared of the nose. I attach too much importance to it. So when I hear the nose, it's like I just feel like, okay, I said this is not going to work. I kind of feel like, so it makes me feel worthless. It makes me feel like I I I just don't have what it takes. That's why people are saying no.
Mm-hmm.
Much importance to the no. So maybe I just need to take it as just a word, like you said.
But you see the confirmation bias, right? Because you already think your
Yes,
location, your accent are going to
yes.
make it harder.
Mm,
So when you hear no, that
mm-hmm,
just confirms
mm-hmm,
what you already
exactly.
think, right? I had a client who thought jobs were hard to get. She used to say that. She was like, "Jobs are hard to get. I have all these different things that going on with me, and I think it would just make it hard for someone to hire me. And I'm a mom, and I need to be close to home, and I need." But she had a long list of things what to make it hard for her to get a job, and she was struggling. And then when she changed her mindset to jobs are easy to get for me, she got 3 job offers in a week without ever submitting her resume. Now, what happened? Just like the cars, did the jobs suddenly become more plentiful for her? No, they were always plentiful. She started showing up differently as a result of mindset change. 3 job offers in a week without ever submitting a resume. I bring that up to say this matters. Confirmation bias can kill your potential.
Okay. So like right now, I'm just struggling with the putting myself out there because the accent thing is still playing through my mind, and I'm like, how am I going to talk? What am I going to say? Like when you're suggesting I should reach out to the kind of people I want to work with, and then just maybe like have a conversation with them, maybe have a call with them and all that. So these things, I'm still struggling with the
Yeah.
whole accent, location, and everything.
Yeah. Mindset change doesn't happen overnight.
Hmm.
It is constant work, and it's something that I recommend you for to get coaching for. That's why I said to you, I have a group coaching program. This is the very kind of thing that we work on because you've got to put yourself out there. You got to get comfortable with it
Hmm.
in order to succeed. It's easy to start a business, but the last mile is the least crowded. So you have to stay in the game. And in order to do that, you got to stay up here. You have to set your confirmation bias so that you expect to win, not that you expect to lose. Because whatever you believe is true. And it's hard to get there on your own.
Tell me about your group coaching program.